said in Shabbos Parshas Teruma, it said in Daled Adon Rishon, 1965. In the beginning of this parsha, this week parsha, speaks about the donations that are needed to build the Mishkan, to build the sanctuary. It says, "Vaydaber Hashem Menashe Lemer." Hashem spoke to Menashe, "Daber b'nei Yisrael, speak to the Jewish people. Ve'ikchu li Teruma. Should take a donation to me, li." U'medayek Admar Tzemach Tzedek ma'amor Diro Matchil. The Rebbe Tzemach Tzedek, it's medayek, is learning from it. Shenemar b'Shabbos Parshas Teruma Taf Reishei. This mimer was said 120 years. From 1965, 120 years before 1965.
1840.
So, and the Rebbe Tzemach Tzedek said the Maimer about this Ve'ikchu li Teruma. Ve'bichel she'adayin lo nitpas, in a Chassidic discourse that was found, that was not yet printed. We are hoping that will be printed, the Rabbi wrote in 1965. Kavim shutpas be'ezer Hashem yisborach l'tzorech lo v'ma shenemru kan sholish terumas. We need to understand, why does it say the word Teruma 3 times? It says ve'ikchu li Teruma, and then it says tikchu es terumasi, v'zei sa teruma asher tikchu meitam. In one pasuk you see 3 terumas are mentioned. Right? Let's look at the pasuk. The Torah tells you like this. Daber Hashem Menashe Lemer, Tzaves b'nei Yisrael. No, this week parsha. It says, Daber b'nei Yisrael ve'ikchu li Teruma me'ez kol ish. Daber Hashem Menashe Lemer, Daber b'nei Yisrael, speak to ve'ikchu li Teruma, one time Teruma. Me'ez kol ish Yisrael asher yidvenu libo tikchu es terumasi. Anyone that is with the generosity of his heart should give Teruma. V'zoi sa Teruma asher tikchu meitam. So 3 times the word Teruma is mentioned in Pasuk Beis and Gimel. So why does it mention 3 times Terumas? Ve'esh lo isi b'zeh sheb'shorish al Terumas guf v'ne'emar tchilah ve'ikchu li Teruma v'rak la'achar ez ha'meisiv me'ez kol ish asher yidvenu libo tikchu es terumasi. The first it starts off with ve'ikchu li Teruma, and afterwards it's adding me'ez kol ish asher yidvenu libo, any man that his heart, out of the generosity of his heart, wants to give a Teruma. Me'ez kol ish asher yidvenu libo tikchu es terumasi v'ayinu shema shekosu ve'ikchu li Teruma. The fact that it says ve'ikchu li Teruma, Teruma Rishon eina be'efen da'asher yidvenu libo. V'tzorech lo v'tamadav, meaning the first one is not asher yidvenu libo. The second one, it says asher yidvenu libo. Whatever he desires to give. The first one, ve'ikchu li Teruma, sounds like this is an obligation. Ve'ikchu li Teruma, everyone has to give Teruma. And the second one speaks kol ish asher yidvenu libo, whatever you want to give. This is the first one. It's not speaking about how much you want to give. So why in the first one, when it says ve'ikchu li Teruma, it doesn't say ish asher yidvenu libo, whatever your heart desires to give. In the second one it says, when the second time we're mentioning it, we say kol asher yidvenu libo. Whatever. If this is the pattern, we should keep it all through. You give Teruma whatever your heart wants to give. So that's one thing. Another thing we need to understand. So we said 2 questions. Number 1 is, why does it mention Teruma 3 times? And the second one is, why does it mention asher yidvenu libo only on the second part? Me'ez kol ish asher yidvenu libo tikchu es terumasi. Gam tzorech lo, another question. Ma shenemar ve'ikchu li Teruma d'licha v'leil ma ve'itnu li Teruma. What is ve'ikchu li Teruma? The word veikhu, lakachat, means to take. To take, to me, Teruma. It's not, grammatically, it's not a flowing sentence. You have to say, ve'itnu li Teruma. They should give me Teruma. Ikhu means to take from me.
Yeah, not to give.
Are you taking or are you giving? So why does it say the word lakicha versus netina? It should have said to give. It should have said netina instead of lakachat, like take. V'yesh lo'isivu dai gam ma shekosu v'ikchu li Teruma li daiku. Another thing we need to understand, why does it says li? Kipirush Rashi interprets the word li. What does li means? Lishmi, for my name.
To
Hashem. So we need to understand why does it use the word li. It says to the Mishkan. Hashem wants to build the Mishkan. So you should ikhu Teruma to the Mishkan. What does it mean li? To me. Is he giving it to him or we're giving it to the Mishkan? We're giving it to build the Mishkan. So that's the question number 4. Right? So the first paragraph, we have all these questions. Why does it mention 3 times the word Teruma? Second question is why it says Meisha Asher Idvenu Libo only on the second one. Generosity of his heart. Generosity of his heart could be also Veikhu li Teruma on the first one. Only on Meis Kolish Asher Idvenu Libo Tikchus Terumasi. And the third question is, it should have said, excuse me, it should have said Ve'itnu li instead of Ve'ikhu li. Makes more sense. And the fourth question, what does li means? To me, as Rashi says, for my name, should have said, so it's for the Mishkan. Maybe at Tzemach Tzedek, base. Maybe at Tzemach Tzedek, Ma'im Rabbi Seinu Zal B'Rabbeis Parshas Teruma. But the Tzemach Tzedek quotes the Midrash Rabbi. Al Posuk Ve'ikchu li Teruma. So the Midrash there, Midrash Rabbi, we have it now. Midrash Rabbi speaks about, connects Ve'ikchu li Teruma with Shir HaShirim, with a pasuk, with a verse in the Song of Songs, where the God says to the Jewish people, "Pischili, Pischili achoisi rayosi." Hashem is, so to speak, is asking a permission, is asking to enter the house. So he says, "Pischili, open for me, my sister, my rayosi, my friend or my wife." Similarly, Hashem is doing the same thing when He is asking of us to build the Mishkan. What does He say? For how long would I walk without a house? My head is filled with dew. Create a dwelling for me that I shouldn't hang out outside. So the Midrash says. Hashem is telling us, for how long would I be outside? Make a dwelling place for me. Make a place where I shouldn't be hanging outside. What is the inner meaning of this? The inner kavanah satziv ve'ikchu li Teruma. What is the purpose of the commandment? Ve'ikchu li Teruma b'shvil asiyas hamikdash. Obviously, to build the mikdash. And the pasuk tells us, what do we need to bring? Zav, kesef, nechoshes, gold, silver, and copper. As the psukim continues, they should create a sanctuary, and I will dwell in them. Shezeu, creating a proper place for the dwelling, for the resting of the divine presence. Klolus einyan davidus Adon. In general, the service of man in this world, by building the Mishkan, the sanctuary, Nishlemes Kavonas Abriyo, we are able to complete the intention, the purpose of creation. It says it in many sources that Hashem had a desire, Tanchuma, Parshat Bechukoisai, Parshat Nosoi, Bereshis Rabo, Midrash Rabo, in many places, that specifically in this lowly world will be a dwelling place for the revelation of a divine presence. It's brought in the Midrash in Veiko Rabbo, Omarti lochem veikchu li Teruma. I said to you, take a Teruma to me, veikchu li Teruma b'shvil she'odu b'nechem. Why did I ask for Teruma? I asked for Teruma to live among you, she'odu b'nechem, that I would live with you, among you. V'osu limikdash kevayochol, Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu, k'chu isi v'odu b'nechem. When Hashem says v'osu limikdash, create a sanctuary, so to speak, Hashem is telling us, k'chu isi, take me, v'odu b'nechem, and I would live among you. Ve'ine seder ha'aveda, the order of how things needs to be done. The order of how to bring the Shekhinah into the world, the divine presence into the world. You have to first have an awakening from above. Hashem says, I need a place. In order to awaken the desire from below. The desire to get closer to Elikus. Shezeu ma'ashekosu kol doidi doifek pischili. In Shir Hashirim also, it says God, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it says in Shir Hashirim, he's called Doid, the uncle. Shlomo HaMelech calls God in the Song of Songs, uncle. Called Doid, right? Called Doidi Doifek Pischili.
Rabbi.
So he's knocking on the door, so to speak, to awaken the Jewish people that are below. He's knocking on the door. He's awakening us. So that's the Sousa de Leila. He's coming from above, says, I am here, I would like to have a place in your house. You have a guest room for me?
My question is, if the first
awakening is from Hashem.
is from above,
Yeah.
someone can say, Hashem didn't wake me. It's not my fault.
That you can say if you're talking to a human being, you can deny anything that transpired. Like, for example, I can today tell you something, you can say you never told it to me. Or I can give you something, you can say I never gave it to me. There's no witnesses, there's no cameras, nothing is recorded. You can do it. But with Hashem, how can you tell him? If he awakens you every day, he can remind you exactly when it happened, how it happened. We say Dionysus, right? Dionysus is a true judge. He's not going to complain to anybody for something if they didn't have an awakening. If they had an awakening and chose to ignore it, then he can complain to them. Why did you ignore it? It says, Ein Hashem ba betrunya im briotav. Hashem doesn't come complain to people for things they're not capable of doing. He only comes to you with things that you had the capability of accomplishing and you chose not to. And if it is true that Hashem didn't arouse the person, why would Hashem come to him and ask him for anything? Obviously, he wouldn't ask him for anything.
Okay.
So it says, "Kol doidi doifek pischili," that Hashem is in Shir Hashirim is called Doid, an uncle. He comes, the uncle. He comes from above, and doifek. He knocks on the door, so to speak, to awaken the Jewish people that are below. V'zeu gam hashenemar ve'ikchu li Teruma, shehu k'moi pischili. It says ve'ikchu li Teruma, shehu k'moi pischili. It's the same idea. Open the door for me. To take and to receive the awakening that comes from above. And that's why this Teruma is, we are using the word lekicha veikchuli and not netina. We're not using tnuli, give me. Because through this Teruma, He is taking, by giving this Teruma, you're actually taking and receiving an awakening from above. ויש לבוא על זה. We need to explain this awakening, this isoirus from above, that is made to awaken the person from below. על פי הידוע ממים, הרב שם טוב נשמע סעידן, is a mimer on the from it's written in Keter Shem Tov, the famous book of the Baal Shem Tov called Keter Shem Tov. Is a mimer that says, "B'inyan Abbas Koil," there is a heavenly voice from above. It says similar question to what you said. He says there's Bas Koil, there's an announcement. He said every day, it says in Pirkei Avos, Ethics of the Fathers, there's a Bas Koil that comes out every day and says, woe to created beings from Elbono Shel Torah, from the insult of the Torah. The Torah is there, accessible to everyone, especially in our times. Right. And no one is learning. And people are choosing not to learn, to occupy themselves with other things.
Going to the Super Bowl instead.
Right. Right. People involved with the Super Bowl instead of being involved with learning Torah. So what the Baal Shem Tov is asking a question: what's the point of the heavenly voice if you can't hear it? There's announcements from above. Kruzim. There's announcements. What's the point of these announcements if no one can hear it?
It's hearing and listening.
Like you said, a guy can maybe argue, I never heard it. You maybe said it to me. You're saying you never told me anything. You said, let's say you did, but I didn't hear it.
I once heard a Maisa about a person that went to a shir, was tied into Chassidus, and the shir was in Yiddish. He didn't understand a word of Yiddish, but he was sitting there anyway. So someone said, "So what benefit do you have?" And he said, "It says in Chassidus, the neshama
hears it.
The neshama hears, right?"
Yeah, Mazlai Uchazi. That's we learned from Daniel that when he was prophesying, the people around him passed out. So why did you pass out? You didn't. They were all in fear or in awe. They said, you didn't hear anything, you didn't see anything. Why did you pass out? We understand Daniel is prophesying. So it says Mazlai, their mother felt it. They're subconscious, they're something deeper than their understanding experienced it, and that's why they passed out. Sometimes people have irurei tshuva. They have thoughts of doing tshuva. And he didn't do anything. Maybe he drives on Shabbos and he sees you walking to shul. You don't know you did anything. He sees you and you're walking with your son and he says, wow, he's keeping Shabbos. Why am I not keeping Shabbos? So he has irur tshuva. Inside he starts to think. And maybe he's going to do something about it, maybe not.
Makes you guilty.
Maybe he's going to move, yeah.
I had this situation.
Can I tell you something?
Everybody goes to synagogue and I was driving.
I want to finish the mimer. I don't want to...
I just wanted to say something. I thought it's important just to say. I read something that the Rabbi once said that it stayed with me every day. The Rabbi said, for example, in the same way, that empathy and sympathy, in other words, that you feel for another person, are fine emotions, but if you don't do anything about it, if there's a lonely Jew that needs help or needs to fill or needs food, and you feel empathy or sympathy, and that's where it stops, it's good for you, but how does it help the other Jew unless you go out and actually
do something? Omnum adayin tzarich lahavin. So first answer, what is the point of this announcement? It brings irur tshuva, it brings the thoughts of tshuva. Causes somebody he doesn't know what is happening upstairs, but there's an announcement. David did tshuva, and you didn't hear it, but your neshama heard it, and that leads to you to have irur tshuva. Thoughts of tshuva first. We need to understand. The bas koil shemachrezes is the heavenly voice that announces something. It's being done every day. A person knows with himself. It says, God forbid, it could happen that a few days passed and somebody didn't feel irur tshuva. He didn't feel thoughts of tshuva, of repenting, or thoughts of regret, of remorse. This is, I mentioned it before, it brought in Tractate Megillah, and with the Gimel, it says, I didn't see, they didn't see Mazlayu Chazi. People that were with Daniel, they didn't see what he saw. They weren't exposed to what he was exposed to. But they were in great trepidation and awe. And they ran away and hid. The Gemara asked, why did they run away? So the mazel is referring to the roots, to the essence of the neshama above, the inner part of the neshama that stays above and is not invested in, it's not invested in the physical body. That part hears the announcements that are happening upstairs. This is the awakening that comes from above, and this kruzim, this announcement, are telling the person, do tshuva. In order for that awakening from above to do something that you're actually going to move, you're going to change, you have to do the opening. What is the doidi doifek? Doidi doifek means he knocks on the door. God is knocking on the door. These are the announcements. He knocks on the door. But he tells you what he says in the announcement. He tells you, pischili, open the door, start doing tshuva. And now it's up to you if you're going to open the door or not. Called doidi doifek, pischili. That's what he says, right? The Chassidic melody on this verse. You know it? Kol doidi doidi doifek, doidi doifek pischili, pischili yagoi zirayamasi. Famous song. Ainu shemazol ve'etzem haneshama shelemaylo shemaz b'chol yom sakruzim. The essence of the neshama hears it every day. What you need to do is pischili, veikchuli, lakachas ulekabel, and then you have to take it, receive the awakening shemshachas milamala. Meaning, we have a gift every day. We have an awakening that is there for us every day. It's our choice whether to accept it or not. It's like you listening to people pay to go to a motivational speakers. They pay. They sit there for 3 days, 2 days seminars. He pumps them up with confidence, with do this, you can do it, conquer the world. It's up to them if they're going to do something about it or not. Yeah. He's getting paid for this. Got $100 ahead. He's getting more, way more.
The effort is
Tony Robbins.
Oh my God! Yes.
People still pay thousands of dollars to listen to Bill Clinton.
I would still.
But the idea is, what do you do with the motivation?
Still fall asleep.
But I read some of what they said. Is some guys, they got so motivated that they didn't want to wait for the end of the speech. They said, "We got it," and ran out. They ran out and they started working with more vigor, more excitement.
Sewing, right?
Yeah, whatever it is whatever the field was. It says about Rabbi Shmuel Munkes that he wanted once to. He had a great desire to go for Shabbos to the Tzemach Tzedek, but he lived far away and he was an elderly man already because he was a chassid of the Alter Rebbe.
Right.
But he wanted to spend Shabbos with the Tzemach Tzedek, and it was Thursday, it was too late to travel. But there was one guy, a young man, that had wanted to go to a nearby town. He had young horses, and he could take him quickly. So he said, I can do it for you, but you have to promise me that you daven quickly in the morning. We'll start traveling on Thursday. We'll stop at an inn at night, but you wake up in the morning, you would daven quickly. He knew that Shmuel would daven 4 hours.
Yeah.
So he said, oh, no problem. We'll do it, we'll daven. So this is what happened. They started travel, and he wakes up in the morning. This guy, daven 1, 2, 3, is sitting in his wagon ready to go, and Shmuel davens and davens and davens and davens. So at the end, he tells him, you told me that
You're gonna pray quickly.
do it quickly. Why did you take your time? So he said, you're a businessman, right? What does a businessman do? He buys merchandise for cheap, and he sells them for more money. Buy low, sell high, right? So you traveling to this town to buy merchandise cheap, right? But if I tell you that the cheap merchandise is already in this town, you don't have to get to that town to buy the merchandise. It's already here. Why do you have to go all the way there? Obviously, you buy it here. You say, no, I got to go there to buy it. But you have it here, cheaper, or the same price. I have to travel to China if I can buy it here for $1. So he says, what do I go to? Why do we go to the Rebbe? We go to the Rebbe to learn from him how to serve God, to have excitement in davening. He said, if I had excitement in davening, why should I say, oh, I got to go there to get it? I got it. So I had to, he had a special davening already in that inn. He didn't have to go all the way there.
No, but it didn't help the guy.
The guy, no, he didn't. For Shmuel it helped.
No, but let's say the guy wanted to go to the,
He didn't want to go to there. The guy wanted to go to this business near town.
He wasn't going there to see the Rabbi.
Yeah.
If a person is a rabbi, Hashem still put the bat call.
Everyone. It says, even in the time of Mashiach, the Zohar says, also tzaddikai also b'tshuvto, that even tzaddikim will do tshuva. What does that mean, tshuva? Tshuva is not only for sinning, God. Tshuva means for tzaddikim, is tshuva for not maximizing their potential. If someone has the capability of doing more, and they didn't,
This is what's going to be hard.
yeah. הפיזיור מה שנאמר ויקחו לי ולא נאמר ויתנו לי כיוון שעניין זה אין עבודתו של האדם. So although the Jewish people are giving me the Teruma, but it doesn't say v'itnu li, doesn't say they give me כיוון שעניין זה אין עבודתו של האדם. Meaning the kruzim, the supernal announcements are not your avodah. That's being done from above. What is your avodah is what you're taking from it. You choose to act upon it or not. And for this reason, it doesn't say in the first Teruma, it doesn't say on the first one, it doesn't say idvenu libe. What is idvenu libe? It's the generosity of his heart, the awakening of the heart. So Veikchul Teruma is referring to what is being given from above, and has nothing to do with you. So Veikchul Teruma, the first one, its whole idea is awakening from above. And that's why it says Veikchuli. Why does it say Veikchuli? They should take to me Veikchu Teruma and Ksiv Kan. It doesn't say Veikchu Teruma. It says Veikchuli.
So Veikchu is like Tikach from Hashem.
Right, you're taking from Hashem. You're taking this awakening. It says in Sifri, wherever you see the word Li in the Torah, Bruce Lee, you see the word Li, you see the word Li, L'avdil, it's Le'olam u'le'olam u'olamim, forever and ever. It's something eternal. It has an everlasting existence. Uvemokim acher Isu. In another place it's written, Kol moker shenemar li, also another expression for the infinity of the word li, eino zoz lo'elam, never moves, lo ba'olam hazeh v'lo ba'olam haba. It doesn't change in this world and the world to come. Dechevan shezeu inyan she'eino tolu b'avidas Adon. Since this is a concept that has nothing to do with your avodah, with your work, uva b'yisarusa d'leilo, rather it's something that comes from above. These announcements are not nothing to do with you. They are coming from above. Therefore, there's no changes in it. It doesn't depend. It's not dependent on us. Therefore, it doesn't change. It's coming from Hashem. It never changes. And it's there forever. We shouldn't be satisfied with the awakening that we're receiving from above. After there is awakening from above, so Ve'ikhu Teruma is the awakening from above. It's the Kol Doidi Doifek, it's the Uncle Hashem knocking. We need also the awakening from below. It says in Be'emshech HaKosuv, the pasuk continues, it says, Kol ish asher yidvenu libo. Any man that his heart desires. Why? Because that awakening is dependent on you. The first part, Ve'ikhu Teruma, is the awakening from above. The second one, Kol ish asher yidvenu libo. Any man that his heart arouses to do something, that's dependent on us. And then we have Ve'ikhu, that we have to take. To receive it, to receive the awakening from above, and then we can act upon it. Even though the awakening that comes from above, it's not comparable to the awakening that comes from below. How much can we do? How much can we arouse ourselves? Whatever we can do is limited in comparison to what comes from above. They're not comparable to one second. They're not comparable to one to the other. It's not sufficient that the work should be only because of the awakening from above. We need also the awakening from below. It's explained in the Alter Rebbe's Memorim, when the work that we do is only because of the awakening from above. Because that it's something that came from above and he didn't prepare himself, he didn't do anything about it, it goes away. It doesn't last. And that's why we have to do the preparation. We have to put in effort to do the ishtadlus. That's the inyan of kol asher yidvenu libo, to do your part.
Isn't there a mashal in Tanya with a chevel with a rope, that if you pull the rope on the bottom,
it shakes it up, yeah.
It's all the way up to the top, right?
Right. But over here is a little different. The point is that the awakening is there for you.
Right.
But the Alter Rebbe says, don't be satisfied with the awakening from above. You have to do something on your part in order for it to last. Because you can have somebody get excited, he's going to put tefillin for 1 day, 2 days, and then he goes back to his usual habits.
Why?
Because he's only relying on the awakening from above. If he didn't do anything, if the kli is not prepared, that's what we're against these people that are, we're not against it, but it's people that are doing tshuva because someone scared them. So you can be scared for a day, for 2 days, for a week, and then it goes away. The change has to come from within. People have to go through changes. If it doesn't penetrate your mind, and it's not engraved in your mind, then you're not going to change.
The same thing.
It's going to come and go.
The same thing with a child, right? If the child is afraid of the teacher, while they're in the classroom, they'll behave right. As soon as they're out of the classroom and the teacher's not there,
I learned that
they'll
there
go
is
wild.
two kind of fears, of the punishment
With a stick.
and the fear of disappointing Hashem.
Right? Yeah,
This
that's
is the big one.
that's yiras boishes, that you're afraid to cause embarrassment. You're honoring Hashem, you're honoring the authority, and you don't want to cause any. There's a difference why we stand in a traffic light, red light. There's nobody there. 3 o'clock in the morning, red light. You're looking to the right, dead. There's no reason for you to stand in traffic light, right? You said traffic light is there to allow other cars to go, but there's no other cars that are going. But if it's a judge that is in the traffic light, what do you think? Who do you think are more likely to violate the law? It's the judge is not going to violate the law, because for him, if he gets caught, if there is a cop somewhere, the embarrassment is much more. So you're not respecting the law.
The only difference is the cops always drive through the red lights.
Right.
Well, that's because it's an emergency.
Yeah, they got excused.
Yeah.
What was it? You know, it's like this guy, the people that were saved in that they have a miracle happen in a war. They come out of a situation. And,
Right.
And where are they holding?
But the point is that anything that comes from above and there's no awakening from below, it doesn't last. Doesn't stick, as they say.
Doesn't Chassidics teach us that that's why Hashem had to create Adon Rishon, that there was Horas La'ela, that there was from above, and he needed to create Adon Rishon to make the Horas La'ela?
It says the reason why they went and they did the golden calf, they were involved with the golden calf, because Matan Torah was awakening from above without much preparation on their part.
Yeah.
But they did have like 49 days, right, preparation.
Yeah.
Every day going to a different gate.
Yeah, but
It
you gotta
wasn't.
realize they were in slavery for 240 years.
210.
210.
Yeah.
So
Moshe wasn't there.
210 years compared to
Moshe left
49 days.
Yeah.
Doing this 40 days.
It was mainly the mixed multitude that did it, but the point is that anything that we're not really prepared for, it goes to waste. Omnam la'ach uviu ha'inyan b'frotius yisr gimel. Gimel uviu ha'inyan b'frotius yisr b'avedas sodom gufo. Oh, there's two ways of awakening from above and the response from the awakening from below. Ve'ine be'inyan Teruma ita b'zoya. The Zohar Chalak Gimel, it says regarding Teruma, shnei pirushim. There's two interpretations. Pirush echad she Teruma u'eis Torah mem. You look at the word Teruma, it has the word Torah in it, and mem, and the word mem. Torah mem. Shekai ala Torah shenitna la'arbayim. It comes to tell us that Torah was given after Moshe Rabbeinu was 40 days in the mountain.
Mem is 40?
Yeah. Yud, Aleph to Yud. Aleph 1, Bet Gimel, and get to Yud, and then you start Yud 10, Chaf 20, Lamed 30, and Mem 40.
Okay.
Nun 50, and Samach 60, and up to Kuf. You get to Kuf, is 100, and then it starts with 100.
Okay.
So after Kuf, Reish 200, Shin 300, and Taf 400. That's it. So single, double digits, and then triple digits. Yeah.
Inflation.
Yeah.
Triple digit inflation.
Pirush. So that's the first interpretation. The Teruma is Torah Mem. Torah, and you have in the word Teruma Torah and Mem, meaning the Torah was given in 40 days. After Moshe Rabbeinu was 40 days in the mountain. Upirush sheni shetruma utrei mimea. It's letters that are similar to the words trei mimea. 2 out of 100. What does it mean? V'kayal shtei peomim kriyas shema shachris ve'arvis. It corresponds to 2 times that we are obligated to say the Shema in the morning and in the evening, Shachris ve'arvis. As we say in the davening of Shabbos, in the Musaf of Shabbos, we say, Erev v'voiker b'chol yom tomid pamayim b'avo shema yomrim. Twice a day we say the Shema. Sheb'chol pam yesh memtet. Every time we say the Shema, yesh memtet asvan. There are 49 letters. Chafei oisios the Shema Yisrael Avai Lekeinu Avai Echad. 25 letters from Shema Yisrael all the way to Echad. V'chavdalid oisios the Baruch Shem Kvod Malchus Leilom Voed Ushtei Peomim Memtes Em Tzadik Ches. 2 times 49 is 98. V'adayin choser trei mimea, and we're still missing 2 from the 100. We got to get to the 100. Shu inyan ha-mesirus nefesh be'echot shachris v'arvis, and that's the mesirus nefesh. In the morning and the evening, it brings another 2. We get to 100. So we have Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. I just said 49 letters. Okay. Then I said Baruch Shem Kvod Malchus Leilom Voed. I said another 49 letters. Together 98. I need to get to 100. The Zohar says Trei Mimea. The Mesirus Nefesh, you have to think about Mesirus Nefesh in Kriyas Shema, right? In the morning and in the evening together is 100. What is Torah? Torah is godliness that is received from above. It says regarding the giving of the Torah, I've spoken to you from heaven. It's called bread from heaven. It says, my words are like fire. That's written in Yirmiyah. The same way that fire is not susceptible to Tuma, is not receiving Tuma. So the words of Torah are not susceptible to Tuma. The point is, it's emphasized that Torah, it comes from above. Torah is godliness. When it comes to Kriyat Shema, to have the union of Mesirus Nefesh, of self-sacrifice, when you say the word Echad in Shema, Shem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, thinking, contemplating on Mesirus Nefesh, ube'efen shela'alo milamata l'mal. Is that we, the person who serves Hashem and comes closer to godliness, he's getting closer to Likus. That's the union of our law. That's the elevation going upward, milamata l'mal. That's your awakening from below. This is the concept of ve'ikhu litruma. And then it says, me'eis kol ish, from any man, that idvenu libay, that his heart is generous. Meaning the pasuk is speaking about Avedas Adon, about the service of man in these 2 ways. The revelation from above, a drawdown from above, and the elevation from below. The Masha kosu ve'ikhu litruma be'efen shel isarusa de'leilo. It says ve'ikhu litruma is the awakening from above. That we are taking that awakening and we're utilizing it. That's the first interpretation of Teruma. That we said Mem Torah, right? Shekai ala Torah she be'efen shel hamshoch me'lamai lamata. It speaks about the Torah that came to us through a drawdown from above. Uma shekosu. From any man that his heart is generous to give, you should take my teruma. This is the awakening of man from below. So we can see the generosity of your heart by your awakening.
So Hashem is giving us the Teruma.
Yeah, ve'ikhu, we're taking what is given to us. So the Rambam says that obviously we're not talking about physical Teruma over here. We're talking about, the Torah tells us to take physical Teruma to give to the Beit HaMikdash. But since the Torah uses the word ve'ikhu, ve'ikhu meaning that we are taking something out of it as well. What are we taking out of it? The awakening from above. According to the deeper meaning of ve'ikhu litruma, simple meaning is you're giving to the Beit HaMikdash. But according to the deeper meaning, ve'ikhu, what is being happening, that you are taking that awakening from above and you're being aroused by it.
Jack Bench.
Jack's on his way.
הוא הפירוש השני בתרומה שקאי על מסירות נפש באחד, שהיא באופן של עלו מלמטה למעלה. The second interpretation, what did we say? We said that we are utilizing, we're saying, we're having the concept of Mesiras Nefesh. That's our awakening from below.
Why do I have to get the one around I lost this part? 49 and Shema.
Because the Zohar brings that another interpretation to what Teruma is. So he says that the word Teruma are similar to Trei Mer. Teruma Trei Mer. To tell us that it's 2 out of 100. 2 out of 100. Teruma is 2 out of 100. So we said, what does it mean? So it speaks about the Kriyat Shema, that you have 49, 98 letters, and then the two Mesirut Nefesh, morning and evening, leads to 100. So we learned Ve'ikhu Teruma is the awakening from above, the first interpretation that we said about Teruma, how the Torah is given to us from above. Moshe was there for 40 days and bringing it down. And the awakening from below is Me'is Kolish Asher Idvenu Libo Tikhu Terumasi. It's the second interpretation of Teruma, which is the Mesirus Nefesh. Then it says the third time in Pasuk Gimel, Tikhu es Terumasi, you should take my Teruma, Kai Gamal Inyan HaTorah. It speaks about the Inyan of Torah, Ki af al pi she'inyan Torah meruma ze Pasuk Ve'ikhu Teruma. Torah is hinted in Ve'ikhu Teruma, as we said it, coming from above. Min ha-shomayim dibarti mochem, arei yadua, it's known שיש מיילו בלימוד התורה אחר תפילו לגבי לימוד התורה שקדם התפילו. There's an advantage to learning Torah after davening, the learning of Torah before davening. כמו שאומר אבא בנימין על תפילוסי שתהיה סמוך למיתוסי. Abba Binyamin said that my tefillah in Masechet Brachos, as soon as he woke up, it says my tefillah should be right next to mitosi. As soon as he wakes up, they shouldn't have a half-sick in learning Torah, which means through the Aveda, the service of Kriyat Shema and the davening in such a way of Idvenu Libo. When it says Idvenu Libo, it means that he has an awakening from below. The generosity of the heart means the awakening from below. Nasa limud HaTorah. The davening leads to learning Torah. What is the learning of Torah? The learning of Torah is awakening from above. So it says in explaining Chassidus that awakening from above that came after awakening from below, meaning you always have the awakening from above. So let's run this scenario. You have awakening from above, and that individual chose to have an awakening from below. That awakening from below yields another awakening from above. Now, the awakening from above that comes after the awakening from below is much more powerful than the first awakening from above. It says, it's much superior of the Isarusu de Leilo that comes without the awakening from below. This is the concept of Tikchus Terumasi, Terumasi Mamish. My Teruma, my contribution, my donation, that we are taking it, the person is the Loikeach, he's the receiver, he's the Mekabel, he's the recipient, He's taking that awakening. That the Torah that he learns after the davening, Torah that he learns, becomes the words of God that I placed in your mouth. He doesn't mix his own things in the Torah. It's Hashem's words in his mouth. That your tongue is just repeating what I have placed in your mouth. It's like repeating something that you're hearing. After the davening, the awakening from below, that came because of the awakening from above. Then we have another Isarusa Delayla. Another awakening from above. Then you're going through the day. You come into the doing the mitzvahs. Then you have also the work in permissible things. You go to work, that all your work will be for the sake of heaven. And with all your ways you should know Hashem. You're permeating the world, the physicality, with Kedusha. And that's the third time that it says, this is the donation that you have to take from them. So we see how there's a progressive order of how things have to be done. It starts off, right? That's the awakening from above. And then it says, that's the awakening from below. So it leads you to davening, leads you to kriyashma, to msirus nefesh, right? Self-sacrifice. That's the awakening from below. And then the third time,
Again from
tikhu es trumasi. This is the awakening from above, again, that enables you to do more. To do what? To do what more? So it tells you that your learning is done on a whole different level. That your word is just repeating the words of God. The words of God that I've placed in your mouth. It's not becoming your words, it's becoming the words of Hashem. It's like Moshe Rabbeinu becomes a funnel that says the words of Hashem, and it continues to the day. That even after you davened and learned, then that even the work that you do in bechol darechecha da'eu. So that's the power that is received through the second awakening from above. The awakening from above that came after the awakening from below. Ve'ine, I want to finish. Ve'ine nesaf al klolus ha'ine ve'ikhu l'truma. Besides the concept of ve'ikhu l'truma k'fishu ba'aveda sodom, yesh lagam ha'ine ve'ikhu l'truma shtachlisu v'osir l'mikdash. Besides the work that we have to do through the ve'ikhu l'truma, the third one that enables us to learn on a different level, enables our daily work to be on a different level, there's also the concept of osir l'mikdash. K'fishu begashmas kipshuta, we also have the obligation to build a physical Beis HaMikdash. Building the Mishkan, building the sanctuary. What does it say li? We still have to understand what the li is in there. We said before that wherever it says the word li, it's forever. Not in this world, not in the world to come. There is no Beis HaMikdash right now. So what is the meaning that the Mikdash is eternal and is everlasting? Rabbeinu Moshe Alshich, he wrote a commentary on the Torah. That's what the Ma'aramot means, the acronym. Rabbi Moshe Alshich, Shemikdash ha'elyon, he said that the supernal Beis HaMikdash, the spiritual aspect of Beis HaMikdash, that is called Mikdash Adnei Koinenu Yodecho. It says in the Shir HaSayam, this Mikdash Adnei, Mechubor Mamesh LeMikdash HaTachton. So the upper Mikdash is connected literally to the lower Mikdash. Okay? Upper one is, the supernal one is connected to the lower one. The spiritual one is connected to the physical one. It says regarding Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim shel Mayla mechuberes im Yerushalayim shel Mata, that the upper Yerushalayim is connected to the physical Yerushalayim. And this is brought about in the Gemara tractate Tanis. And this is the meaning that it never moves. When we say the word li, Gam be'olam hazeh, even in this world, shemikdash alin meir. The upper mikdash is meir, is illuminating. Gam achshav, even now, beruchnius, in a spiritual way, the mikdash is also illuminating. Ve'esh lo yisif hazeh gam b'neiga lebeis hamikdash hagashmi. We need to add, even regarding to the physical Beis Hamikdash. Av shebeis hamikdash hagashmi chorav. Even though the physical Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, hein by Rishon, the first Beis Hamikdash, the first temple, shumus eilom evirus hatikro. They broke the ceiling of the Beis Hamikdash. V'alach haskam v'kam by sheni. How much more so the second temple, shechurbone beifen de oru ade yisod bo. It says in Tilim that they destroyed the entire building. Physical building was completely destroyed. Mikol mokim b'negal mishkan. When it comes to the mishkan, to the sanctuary, the ikri mikdash is also called mikdash. Amru chachameinu zal. The rabbi said, "Shenignas tachas mechilo shelecho." Where is the mishkan? Where is the utensils of the mishkan? They were not used in the mikdash. It says that it was hidden in mechilos, in tunnels. So the existence, the physical existence of the Mishkan, of the sanctuary, is still there. Even on a physical level. It's just hidden. Our job is to look for it, but it's there. So Li is still Li means nitzchi, eternal, and this is there. Someone that is neshama is rooted in Atzilus. He has the capability of seeing the Mishkan in a physical way. Someone that is neshama in Atzilus, the Rabbi tells us that you are capable of seeing the Mishkan. Even though it's hidden, he is capable of seeing it. And someone that doesn't see it, it's only because of his spiritual state. Lowly spiritual state. And especially if he has on his belt some sins, so then he has to work even harder to be able to see. As the Alter Rebbe wrote in Tanya, Perek Mem Beis, because of the concept that your sins are separating you. The sins are separating. He has to work harder even to get to awe, to arouse the emotion of fear. He has to work harder because of his sins. It's written in Mishlei, you have to look for it like you're looking for a treasure. It's like someone that digs and tries to find a treasure underground. He sweats, he works very hard to find it. Similarly, in spirituality, in order to connect yourself to things that are concealed, that are hidden, you need to toil. And someone that has sins, it's even harder. He has to work harder. He has to sweat even more because he has more partitions, he has more screens to get rid of. To work hard is not enough. You have to beg Hashem. You have to pray to Hashem. That he would open his eyes and be able to see. Since the Mishkan is even now is existing, begashmius, in a physical way, it's just concealed. It's easier for us to continue to draw down the concept of Beis Hamikdash in a physical way because the Mishkan is existing. So since the Mishkan is existing physically, drawing down the concept of Mikdash on a physical way is easier because it's not a novelty. It's rather redrawing something that is already there, that is already existing. That's why it says Torah specifically emphasizes the concept of nitzchius, of that it's everlasting, when commending us about the donations for the Mishkan. Since the Mishkan is right now, Begashmius is here, it's just concealed. The Alter Rebbe writes, and is being explained by the Tzemach Tzedek, by his grandchild. regarding the orders of the brachos in tefillah. There is a reason why Hoidu is before Baruch She'omar, and Baruch She'omar is before Ishtabach, and Ishtabach is before Psukei, and Psukei Dezimra before Ishtabach, and then you have leading to the brachos of Kriyat Shema, and then the Kriyat Shema and Shmoneh Esrei. There is a reason for this order. When Egel Seder HaBrachos B'Tefillah Shetiknu Anshe Knesset Agdolah was assembled and enacted and instituted by the Great Assembly. Roi Fechoilim Mevorach Hashonim is also the one who heals the sick and who blesses the ears. It's seemingly not understood. Sometimes we see person is, God forbid, has a sickness and is asking to be healed, and he's not healed. Sometimes the brachos are not being answered, are not being fulfilled. The sick person was not healed. So how did the men of the Great Assembly took upon themselves for us to say a bracha, and it's bracha levatal? If I tell you, say a bracha, I'm bringing you an apple, and I'm not bringing you the apple, and you said the bracha, your bracha is in vain. If the men of the Great Assembly instituted that we should say Roi Fechoilim, and a person is not being healed, seemingly it's a bracha levatal. How can they take something like this upon themselves? That a person would say Roi Fechoilim and he's not going to be healed. He said, don't give me the answer that spiritually it's happening. Because I'm not asking for spiritually. When you ask for, you're asking for the physical thing. It's very nice that the spiritually something happened, but what about the physical part of it? It says it could be that there is a drawdown, but the drawdown remains concealed. It remained concealed. It doesn't come in a revealed way. Meaning something happened. On a physical way, something happened, but it's not revealed. Because if you ask for it, you for sure brought down the concept of refuah, healing. Even in a physical way, it could be that right now it's not revealed yet.
Maybe
Sometimes they say it gets worse before it gets better, right? So the getting worse is not really getting worse. It's the process, it's the journey for getting better.
Isn't it the same thing with the Mashiach?
Right, the goal is so it could be that he brought it, he was able to bring it. It's concealed, it needs to be revealed. A guy won the lottery and he didn't check the ticket. He doesn't know. He was already blessed. He asked for parnasa, he needed money, he won the lottery. I won the lottery, now I didn't go to check the ticket. 2 months later, I went and checked the ticket, told me you won. So when was it given to me? Already 2 months ago. I was blessed already 2 months ago. It was only revealed today. One second. We find regarding the Mishkan, the sanctuary that is concealed. The Mishkan is here. It says clearly that it was hidden in the mechilos, in the tunnels. So it says in Maimer, it's called Pelach Hariman. Rabbi Parich wrote a book, Pelach Hariman, Chassidic Discourses, B'Shem Admor HaZoken, in the name of the Alter Rebbe, Shelifnei Neshomes HaGvois K'mo Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Lo Nichav Abayis Klal. From certain Neshomes, very lofty Neshomes, like the Neshama of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, from their perspective, the Beis HaMikdash was never destroyed. Ki legabeim, when it comes to them, there is no concealment. And even something that is concealed, to them is revealed. And we said, in Neshomas of Atzilus, to them everything is revealed. And someone that has the Neshama of Atzilus has the capability of seeing even something that is concealed. Bruchim Tiyu, this is the end of this.